March is here, and what we know is that typically competition picks up in the spring for buyers and for sellers who want to go out and buy a home. So I'm going to share with you the 10 different ways you can win an offer in 2025 and just how competitive the market is, so you know what to do and how to win over the next 4, 5, 6 months here. If you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team about how we can help you win a multiple offer situation, we did it over 100 times in 2024. Just click on the link in the comments and we'll be able to explain. We know competition picks up in the spring, and there's a theory out there that it's more competitive now than ever before for real estate agents and for consumers because we know what's going on with inventory. We took some data here with my friend Jimmy Mackin and took the number of homes that sold in 2024, 2023, etc., divided by the number of active real estate agents and created an index so you can see exactly how competitive it is. And a lot of experts are coming out saying there's no easy deals out there. We're on pace to see about the same number of transactions since last year. So if that's the case, we're here to share things that are working for our clients. So I'm going to give you the 10 different ways you can win an offer in 2025 if you're competing against somebody else. Now, do you have to do these every single time? No, you don't. And I'm clear that knowing all your options creates better decisions when it comes to real estate. So here are all the different ways you can win an offer. Let me start with some of the obvious ones. Give them an incredible price. That's number one. A lot of people think price is everything that matters. There's also terms. Beating other buyers with a higher price that creates a higher seller net is a surefire way to win the competitive bidding situation. There's no question there. That's the first thing a lot of people go to, and there's a lot more to it than just price. An incredible price is an easy way to win. The second way to win is to give the seller the time frame they want for settlement. Is there an ideal settlement date in mind? If there is, and you give that to a seller, well, that may make their life a lot easier. They may not have to balance multiple settlements, leasebacks, moving twice, making sure everything's going to line up. Just the moving schedule in general, it can make life a lot easier for the seller. So giving them their ideal settlement date is a second surefire way to win a competitive offer situation or just to get the house. All this stuff applies to just getting the home and getting the home that you want as well. Number three is a significant deposit amount. Typically, deposits are 5% of the purchase price. Now, we've seen some clients. I had a client years ago do this. He put the entire purchase price up in escrow. Remember, this stays typically with the listing agent, or maybe a title company holds it. This is your good faith money. And the bigger the deposit, it shows that you're more serious about getting the home. So scrimping on the deposit might set off some red flags. So again, 5% is the norm. We've seen some people put 10% in deposit, 20% in deposit. The bigger deposit you put up, the more likely you are to show the seller you're serious. So that's strategy number three. Strategy number four comes to inspections. So waiving or electing inspections can be a way to win the offer. Now, there's also an in-between strategy, which we'll go through with you in a second. This is another strategy a lot of people don't employ. Waiving the inspections versus electing them can help you get the home. Now, there's more risk to waiving an inspection, absolutely, and it's also the most surefire way to get the home. And all of these strategies, I want to give a caveat here. You want to talk to someone about them. You want to understand the pluses and minuses. I'm going to share them all with you, but I want to make sure you have a real conversation. And this is going to vary from house to house. Some homes, it's a little safer to waive an inspection if it's a newer property versus a 100-year-old home. So this is the fourth way you can win the offers, by waiving or electing inspections. Number five, and we're going to go back to inspections here, is if you do want to elect inspections, put a threshold in. I'm willing to accept the first $15,000 of defects discovered, or I'm willing to accept any single defect that costs up to $5,000. When you put those thresholds in, it shows the seller that you're not going to be grinding them on every single minor thing that comes up. So that's strategy number five, putting a threshold into the inspection findings. So it's not quite a waived inspection, but it also shows you're not just going to blow out of the deal if there's a light switch that doesn't work. So those are the first 5. Now we're going to go a little deeper here. Number 6 is to pay the seller's transfer tax. So this is one not a lot of people use. In Pennsylvania, the agreement of sale says that the transfer tax is split evenly between the buyer and seller. So in most suburban townships and boroughs, it's 2%. In Philadelphia, it's over 4%. And in some townships, it's 2.5% or 3%. This is where you need to have local information. So instead of just splitting that, you can actually give the seller an extra percentage point on their net proceeds or 2 percentage points on their net proceeds just by paying their transfer tax. So now we've got 6 different ways you're sweetening the offer. And that strategy right there, that transfer tax, it's a knockout punch. This is a really effective one because it gives them more money on their bottom line without raising the sale price, which brings me to number 7, which is covering the difference between wherever the appraisal may come in. Now, this is an uncertainty. You don't know this. The appraisal comes in after the home has been put under contract and it's ordered by the mortgage company. If you're willing to cover the difference between your sale price and a potential appraisal shortage, that's another great strategy to win the home. Now, there's some risk there because you don't know where that number is going to come in. It's not a certainty. It's unclear. It's another strategy that in these hyper-competitive situations, it's going to help you get the property. So now we've gone through 7 different ways here. Number 8, use a price escalation. So we talked about giving them a great price right off the bat. Well, if you're hesitant to do that but are willing to beat other offers, then what you can do is you can escalate the price. I'm willing to go higher than any other offer that comes in by $7,000, by $13,000. Pick a number that's going to make a lot of sense there, not $50 higher or $1,000 higher. We're talking about very high dollar decisions here. Give them something significant that's going to help protect you from paying too much, but knowing that, hey, I'm willing to beat this by $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 because I really want the house. So that escalation addendum is another great way to go out and win a home. So we went over all these different things here. We talked about covering the appraisal gap. We talked about pricing, terms, all these different things, right? We've got 8 different ones. There's 2 other things here your agent should be doing to help you win, and these are intangibles. One is your agent introducing themselves with a video to the listing agent, letting them know, hey, I'm a professional. We've got some really well-qualified buyers here. They're ready to close, and here's all the details of the offer. That's going to make the agent look very professional. Hopefully, they're also, and this is a 1-2 punch here with number 9, they're also filling out the feedback forms. Make sure they're sending feedback that an offer is coming because that typically gets communicated right to the seller. So now you're sending a video to introduce yourself to the listing agent, meaning your buyer's agent is doing this. And what they're also doing is they're standing out compared to everybody else who might not be doing anything or calling or texting or whatever. And they're filling out the feedback to make sure that gets communicated to the seller. So it's a great way to introduce things. And I would use a video again to make sure that the offer is being communicated properly. You would be surprised how often agents miss things in written contracts. So the use of video and professional communication by your agent to stand out, along with a nice cover letter for the offer, that offer presentation is really going to make a difference, and it's going to wow some listing agents because remember, the goal is to get the sale to the table, and that shows that your agent is a committed, serious professional. And number 10, if you're getting financing, are you having your lender call? Are you having your lender reach out? Because when they do that, that solidifies, hey, this is a really well-qualified buyer. And that's going to ease the concerns of the seller. It's going to tell the listing agent that you've got a great lender on the other side that's willing to do a lot of things. And when you think about all this here, we just went through 10 different things that are available. Your agent should be doing the last 2 things we just talked about: video communication, feedback, video, and cover letter. That's all kind of one strategy there. And getting the lender to call. You've got 8 different ways you can improve your terms, and that can make your offer a lot more compelling for a seller to accept. So I covered a lot here. You got questions, you want to know how to implement these strategies, all you got to do is schedule a call with our team with the link in the comments, and we'll break them all down for you.